Everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a celebrity inspired makeup look. This makeup look is inspired by Nicki Minaj in her new video, which just came out a couple of days ago, and it's called, what's it called? Feeling Myself. That's it. I'm feeling myself. That one. The one with Beyonce. Now she's got a couple of makeup looks in the video. They're all quite similar. This one is based on the one when she's wearing a black leotard. And she's got really pink lips. She's got huge lashes. So again, I've got massive lashes on. No eye makeup on the bottom lash line whatsoever. Not even mascara. And really simple golden kind of brown eyes. I've literally only used 3 colours on my lid. Her wing is absolutely massive. It goes almost to her eyebrows. So I've done kind of similar. This one kind of came out a lot better than that one. Am I the only one who always has one eye that comes out so much better than the other one? And her brows are really, really simple. Now, the only thing with her is, obviously, yes, I look nothing like her, blah, blah, blah. The only thing that is the same between us is that I think we're the same age. That's it. And the reason I'm wearing this top is because in the video they're wearing American kind of football jerseys, and this is probably the closest I've got to it. And she's got huge lashes, pink lips, very, very simple, clean face. Very kind of luminous looking skin, so that's what I've gone for. I've used my Luminous Silk foundation by Giorgio Armani, and then instead of using a powder contour, I've done cream contouring because it's a lot more shade out and it's a lot more natural looking, and she has got a bit of a contour going on. She's got very pale pink cheeks, almost hardly any blush on her cheeks at all, so I've kind of gone on a similar sort of vibe. Her lips, they are outlined with a purple, a dark purple or a dark brown. I couldn't quite tell, so I went in with a brown. Because the video is very new and it's very, very fast, so it's very difficult to try and kind of get the exact sort of things that she's wearing. But this is the closest that I got to it. This is the first time I've ever used a brow powder, because the thing is, she hasn't got the thickest eyebrows and she hasn't got the darkest eyebrows, and obviously I couldn't make mine lighter, so the only thing I could do is just make them look very natural and a little bit tidy. So that's what I've done. So I hope that you enjoy this makeup look. Let me just quickly show you on her Instagram page. I hope you can see that. Beyonce's the one who's got the really super full on lips, and Nicki's is a lot more pale, a lot more pink. I mean, normally she's really got full-on makeup, but in this video it's quite subtle, it's quite tame. Even that is just a promo picture itself. That's not even in the actual video. So, which is why her lips look so amazingly flawless. But if you look in the video itself, they're very, very natural looking. So yeah, so I hope that you enjoy this makeup look, makeup tutorial. Let me know what you think below. If you'd like me to do any other kind of makeup looks. This is probably the simplest eye makeup look ever, and you never ever see me wearing lashes. You know that. And these are like absolutely huge. These are like the biggest lashes that I could find in my room. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you all soon. Bye. Hello everybody. Okay, firstly, excuse the hair. I literally just tipped it upside down and blow dried it, so it's a complete mess. It hasn't been styled. Moving on, I am priming my lids for the eyeshadow. I'm using the Lorac Behind the Scenes primer, and then I'm priming my face with my Illamasqua Hydra Veil. I love, love, love this primer. And then I'm using my Armani Luminous Silk foundation. This one gives a really lovely luminous look to the skin, which is what Nicki Minaj has got. So that's what I was trying to get with that. Then I'm using my 3D Kabuki brush by Sigma just to blend it all into my skin, making it nice and even. And I only applied one layer because she's got a very natural looking finish. Now I'm using my Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancer on areas that I want to cover on my face. This is very, very thick, but it really illuminates the skin and enhances it, which is what it's supposed to do. And I'm using the same Kabuki brush just to blend it all in really nicely. As always, I'm using my Naked Skin Urban Decay Concealer and my MAC Prep and Prime to conceal and then highlight under the eyes. And then I blend it all in with a beauty blender. This is just my normal kind of concealing, highlighting routine. And then I'm also placing it on the nose and on the chin because these are the areas I want to highlight. Lovely. Now I'm using a very damp and dirty looking beauty blender. I am so bad at keeping my beauty blender clean. And then I'm just using this to blend it all in nicely, and obviously on the nose and on the chin as well. Then to set it all, I'm using MAC's Pro Emphasize Highlighting Powder as well as Anastasia Beverly Hills Banana Powder, and I'm using a Real Techniques contouring brush to set it all under my eyes to make sure there are no creases, because especially there is no eye makeup going on here later on. It's got to look flawless. Now I'm using the shade Beautiful Bronze by LA Girl Cosmetics and doing a very light-handed kind of conceal on my head and on my cheekbones. I'm not using loads of the product. And then I'm also placing it on the sides and the tops of my nose to contour. And then I'm going to be using another very, very damp beauty blender to blend it all out. This takes a lot of time and I get really tired doing this sometimes. I can't be bothered. I normally just use powder. But because she's got a very contoured, very slightly contoured face, and you can see it's very natural contour, and the best thing to use for that is to use a cream based product. This is a concealer, but it works really, really well as a contouring product as well. Now I'm using the shade Havana from the contour kit and using a large angled contour F40 brush by Sigma, and very, very lightly just setting that contour. I'm only using a very slight amount of product. I know you can't tell, but you have to set the contour after you've applied it so that it doesn't move around afterwards. Now I'm setting my foundation as always with my MAC Studio Fix powder foundation in NC40, and I'm using a large powder F30 Sigma brush just to set it all in place. I'm again going over the contour areas because I really want it to be as light as possible. Then I'm using the shade Banana again just to sharpen up that contour so that there are no harsh lines and to tame down any extra colour. As always, you have to prep your lips for any kind of lipstick, so I'm using my normal Carmex lip balm, which is like my favourite. Now I'm using Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, and I am using the shade Milk Chocolate, and I'm blending that into the crease with my MAC 224 brush. She's got a very golden, warm toned eye makeup look, and it's very simple and subtle, so you don't need to apply too much of this. It's kind of up to you. I like to always apply obviously a little bit extra, and then you just go backwards and forwards blending that out. Then I'm using the shade Creme Brulee, and then I am packing that all over the lid. I'm using my MAC 239 brush. Now just go back in with that same 224 brush just to blend out any harsh lines, because she's got a very golden but subtle makeup look, so you don't want there to be any harsh lines. Now I'm using the shade Marzipan, and I am applying that to my brow bone area. She's got a very shimmery highlight, and because I only wanted to use one palette to do this look to make it easy for you guys, that's the best I came up with. And then I just toned down that highlight slightly with the 224 brush and a little bit more of the Milk Chocolate. She's got a very, very strong winged out, very cat eye makeup eyeliner look, as always, because that is kind of her signature thing. So I'm using my L'Oreal Perfect Slim eyeliner, which is what I always use, and this is the way that I do it. I normally go a little bit higher than my actual line itself, and then I do the flick, and then I fill in the bits in between. If you want me to do a more detailed, more descriptive kind of video on my eyeliner, let me know below. Now I'm using my hair and makeup addiction brush called the Groomer, just a spoolie basically, just to tidy up my brows slightly. And I'm going to be using Whitening Lightning's Brow Bar To Go palette to do my brows, and I'm using this ashy brown shade in the middle. I normally tend to use warm browns, but because I'm just basically neatening up my eyebrows, I'm not really defining them that much. I'm just filling in any little bits of gaps. That's the reason I'm using that colour, because Nicki's got very fine and very light coloured brows, whereas mine are obviously quite thick and dark, so I didn't want to go too overboard. Now I'm applying my mascara, my usual Bourjois Volume 1 Seconde. This is just to prep for my humongous lashes that I'm going to be wearing. So I am using Eylure's Glamour Naturalites lashes. These are really huge and really thick. I don't know what's natural about them, but these were the only really full ones that I had. Whereas the ones that Nicki wears give her more of a cat eye kind of appearance, because she does like to elongate her eyes and make her eyes look like they've got more of a feline look, which is also why she doesn't wear that much eye makeup on the lower lash line. I was really hot here, by the way. It's not like I was calling myself hot. Just in case you're wondering. This is Hanky Panky by Makeup Geek, and I am using my MAC 129 blush brush to very lightly apply this to the backs of my cheeks, just above the contour, because she has got a very slight tinge of a pinky sort of shade on her cheeks. Now I'm using Becca's Shimmering Skin Perfector in the liquid form, and it's in the shade Pearl, which is like a very whitish sort of pearlescent liquid highlighter, because she's got a slightly highlighted face. This almost gives your face a slight wet look, but wet without being like sweaty and gross. So something like this is always good to use for like a daytime sort of more natural kind of highlight. Then I am going to set it with sand from the contour kit, just to tone it down slightly with a MAC stippling brush, and then just apply a little bit on the nose to highlight that area as well. Now you just have to remove any excess lip balm, lip product type of thing. Now I'm going to be using a MAC's Oak lip liner. Again, I wasn't sure what shade she'd used, but I always find that this colour works really well with pink lipsticks. So I've applied this really thickly over under my lip line. Now I'm using NYX's Butter lipstick in the shade Taffy, and this is where you can kind of see how it really works well with the Oak lip liner. And last but not least, I am going to top it off with NYX's Butter Gloss in the shade Vanilla Cream Pie, because she has got very glossy, shiny lips in the video. And then that is it for the entire makeup look. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think below. It feels really weird not wearing anything on my lower lash line, but I really like the clean kind of look. And here you go, my hair is done. You can all be thankful that I don't look so horrendous now. Okay, thanks for watching guys, bye.